Angel, your neighbor is forcing your family member to do something unimaginable. In the quiet, leafy streets of suburban America, behind picket fences and blooming gardens, lurks a tale that will shock and disturb you. It's a story of manipulation, coercion, and the sinister depths to which some individuals will sink in pursuit of their desires. What would you do if you discovered that your neighbor was exerting undue influence over a member of your family, compelling them to do things that defy all moral and ethical boundaries? Picture this. You return home one evening to find your loved one behaving strangely, their actions inexplicable and out of character. Initially, you brush it off as fatigue or stress, but as the days pass, their behavior becomes increasingly erratic and disturbing. You notice subtle changes in their demeanor, a flicker of fear in their eyes when they think no one is watching, and a reluctance to discuss their activities or whereabouts. Alarm bells begin to ring in your mind, and you decide to investigate. What you uncover is beyond anything you could have imagined. Your neighbor, the seemingly friendly face next door, has been exerting a subtle yet insidious influence over your family members, coercing them into morally reprehensible actions. As you delve deeper into the murky world of manipulation and control, you unearth a web of lies, deceit, and psychological manipulation. Your neighbor is a master manipulator, adept at exploiting vulnerabilities and exerting influence over those who are susceptible to their charms. It starts with small acts of kindness, a friendly smile, and a helping hand when it's needed most. Your neighbor ingratiates themselves into your family's life, offering support and assistance under the guise of friendship. Slowly but surely, they begin to erode your loved one's sense of autonomy and independence, subtly manipulating them into compliance with their wishes. At first, it may seem harmless enough, a favor here, a request there, but before long, your family member finds themselves ensnared in a web of obligation and dependency. They feel powerless to resist the influence of their neighbor, trapped in a cycle of manipulation and control from which escape seems impossible. But there is hope. With awareness and understanding, it is possible to break free from the grip of a manipulative neighbor and reclaim control over your own life. It begins with recognizing the signs of manipulation, the subtle cues and red flags that indicate all is not as it seems. Look for inconsistencies in behavior, sudden changes in attitude or mood, and an unwillingness to discuss certain topics or activities. Communication is key. Talk to your loved one openly and honestly about your concerns, offering support and encouragement as they navigate the difficult process of breaking free from the manipulator's grasp. Enlist the help of friends, family, or professional counselors who can offer guidance and support along the way. Above all, remember that you are not alone. There are resources available to help you and your family members escape from the clutches of manipulation and control. Reach out to local support groups, hotlines, or community organizations for assistance and guidance. The battle against manipulation and coercion is not an easy one, but it is one worth fighting. By standing together and refusing to be cowed by the actions of a manipulative neighbor, you can reclaim control over your own lives and build a future free from fear and intimidation. Take action, speak out, and refuse to let the forces of manipulation and control dictate the course of your lives. Your future may depend on it. As you embark on the journey to free your family member from the clutches of manipulation, it's essential to understand the psychological tactics employed by manipulators. These individuals often prey on vulnerabilities such as low self-esteem, insecurity, or a desire for approval and validation. By exploiting these weaknesses, they gain control over their victims and bend them to their will. One common tactic used by manipulators is gaslighting, a form of psychological manipulation that seeks to make the victim doubt their reality. They may downplay their actions, distort the truth, or even outright deny that any manipulation is taking place. This can leave the victim feeling confused, disoriented, and unsure of what is real and what is not. Another technique frequently employed by manipulators is isolation. By cutting off their victims from friends, family, and support networks, they create a sense of dependency and helplessness. This isolation makes it easier for the manipulator to exert control over their victim, as they have no one else to turn to for guidance or support. Manipulators also use tactics such as guilt-tripping, emotional blackmail, and manipulation of facts to bend their victims to their will. They may play on their victim's sense of obligation or loyalty, using guilt and shame to compel them to comply with their wishes. But perhaps the most insidious aspect of manipulation is its subtle nature. Often, the victim may not even realize that they are being manipulated until it's too late. The gradual erosion of boundaries and autonomy can happen so slowly and subtly that the victim doesn't realize what's happening until they're in too deep. So how can you help your family member break free from the grip of manipulation? The first step is to provide them with unwavering support and understanding. Let them know that you believe them and that you are there for them, no matter what. Encourage them to open up about their experiences and feelings, and validate their emotions without judgment or criticism. It's also essential to educate your family members about the tactics used by manipulators and help them recognize the warning signs. By arming them with knowledge and awareness, you empower them to identify manipulation when it occurs and take steps to protect themselves from its effects. Encourage your family members to set boundaries and assert themselves in their interactions with the manipulator. This may be difficult at first, especially if they have been conditioned to prioritize the manipulator's needs and desires over their own. But with patience, persistence, and support, they can learn to assert their autonomy and reclaim control over their own lives. Above all, remind your family members that they are not alone. Some people care about them and want to help them break free from the cycle of manipulation and control. Encourage them to reach out for support, whether it's from friends, family, or professional counselors who can offer guidance and assistance. Breaking free from the grip of a manipulative neighbor is not easy, but it is possible. With awareness, understanding, and support, your family members can reclaim control over their own lives and build a future free from manipulation and coercion. So don't hesitate to take action and stand up against the forces of manipulation in your community. Your family members' well-being may depend on it.